Hello everybody and welcome to this wonderful Nomad Tea Festival where we are having lots of fun and we are learning a lot about tea. I hope you guys all over the world, wherever you are watching us and wherever you are joining us, you are having a great time and learning about tea. Don't forget to leave your questions and your comments because all of us are more than happy that respond in everything that we can help you. My name is Priscila Vasquez. I'm a tea sommelier and a tea designer, and I'm here to talk to you guys about a kind of new topic in the tea industry. And this is tea in South America. Probably you guys are familiarized with it and probably you're not. So let's enjoy and let's learn a little bit. As you can see in this image, of course, this is the coffee belt, is the place, the zone of the world where coffee is produced. Why? Because we are talking about the hottest zones of our places, of our world, tropical and subtropical places. Except for China, obviously, in the same places that coffee grows, we also can grow tea. I'm going to focus obviously more in South America and we could say Latin America, starting from Mexico and going to Chile and Argentina. Let's see the next image, please. In this image, we can see a little bit clearer what was I talking before about the coffee belt. Yes, don't forget that even we are talking about South America, we cannot forget Mexico and Guatemala in Central America, and I will let you know why in a little bit. Let's see the next image. So, this is South America subcontinent. Why am I showing you this image? This is how we see South America from outside the world. It's like a NASA image. And I'm showing you this image because I want to let you know a little bit about the geography, about the terroir that we have in South America. You can see that we are surrounded about oceans, Pacific Ocean and Atlantic Ocean. So we have very hot places. We have ocean, we have beach, we have sun, and all around the subcontinent. Also, we have Andes Mountains. This is a long change of mountains. We have volcanoes, we have snow, and we have very cold places. And in the middle of the continent, we have our beloved Amazonic jungle, where we can find very beautiful animals and very beautiful flowers, plants, trees, and a very special wet and hot weather. This is amazing that all can happen in the same subcontinent. If you are driving in South America, in most of the countries, you can go from the beach to the mountains in a couple hours, and in a couple hours later you can be in the jungle. So let's remember that is what we are drinking in our tea. It is well known that the terroir is very important for the flavor of the tea. So let's think in the terroir of South America and what we are drinking in our tea. We can have snow, we can have ocean, we can have jungle, and we can have all together. Let's see the next image, please. Well, this is those are the countries that we have in South America. This little one is Ecuador. This is where I'm talking right now to you guys. As you can see, is one of the smallest in the subcontinent. But let's remember, we can have beach, and a couple hours later we can be in the mountains. We can have rain. We can have sometimes even snow in the volcanoes, and a couple hours later we are next to the jungle. So of course, I will invite you to visit not just Ecuador, but South America and enjoy what we have here. Let's see the next image, please. In this map, I want to show you the tea plantations that we have in South America. As you can see, we don't have tons, hundreds of tea plantations as we can find in Asia, in Africa, because in South America we have a tea tradition not older than 100 years. How tea arrived to South America? It is easy for us remember how tea traveled from China to Europe. It is a story that we know, and it is a story that, of course, I'm very sure you will hear during this festival. But what happened with South America, with the American continent? How tea arrived here? Of course, during the travels that Europeans, Japanese, and Asian people did to our country during the colonial times. Specifically in South America, when the colonial times were ruled by Spanish people, they already had a tea culture from Europe. So when they arrived to South America, they had their 5 o'clock tea, and they found very delicious and aromatic plants, and they say, well, we can use this for having our tea time. And it happened that because they called tea that designs that we had and we still have in South America, start a little bit the confusion. We have amazing designs in South America. Probably you have heard of some of them. We have coca leaves, we have mate, we have cacao, we have guayusa, we have chamomile, and we have medicinal and traditional herbalistic. They have hundreds and hundreds years of antiqueness, and we still drink these delicious beverages. So I was telling you the travel of tea from the old continent to this new continent. As I say, we don't have more than 100 years of tea tradition. And it translates, like I said, in a few tea plantations. I'm going to explain a little bit more country by country, and let's learn more. Let's see the next image, please. We are now we will talk about Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru. Why Colombia? As you can see, there's one big tea plantation. In Colombia, you can find cultivars that are hybrids of Assam and Sinensis varieties. We have, they produce CTC that are used for tea bags, but Colombia has the characteristic that they are producing also tea leaves. This brand that I have here, I will show you. Its name is Vitaco, and they are doing a great job in producing whole leaf teas. Let me show you one of their teas. They are very beautiful and very tasteful and smell great, as you can see. And I invite you to taste, to try Colombian tea. Remember, we are drinking a very special terroir. In Ecuador, we have one tea plantation, and it's a beautiful one because it grows around a volcano. The volcano name is Sangay. So the tea we are drinking from Ecuador, of course, is called Sangay tea. This is the tea we produce. We are still producing CTC. In Ecuador, you can find black tea and green tea, all of them CTC. And people also are making blends for tea bags, like masala chai or tea with strawberries and moras and tropical fruits, but still from tea bags. We have a lot of work to do. And I want to show you a project that we are starting in Ecuador. This is the tea that we are producing. That is not exactly whole leaf tea, but it's not CTC. And this is green tea, green Ecuadorian tea. And we are working we have an amazing project that I hope to have news very soon for producing and selling this tea in our country. In Peru, as you can see at south, there are 3 important tea plantations also. As I say, we can find tea for CTC, black and green, and for tea bags. Let's see the next image, please. This part of the map belongs to Brazil. We have 3 big tea plantations. Brazil have a special characteristic. They have Yabuquita cultivar, which of course you know is Japanese. The Yabuquita cultivar travel with Asian people that established in Brazil, and it's the only country in South America that produces white tea. So in Brazil we can find black, white and green tea, and they are also working in whole leaf tea. Of course, we also have, like I told you, from all South America, Assamic variety Irids and Sinensis variety Irids. Let's see the next image, please. In this part, we are now starting to talk about colder parts of our country. As you know, Bolivia is a very high country, high mountains. They have no ocean, they have no beach, and it's very, very cold. The country is on Andes mountains, but tea is growing in Bolivia. It tastes very interesting because remember, when the higher is the tea we are growing, it has a stronger smell. And when we talk about Chile, let's remember that we are talking about the very south of the continent. So the weather conditions are a little bit harsh. It can be really cold, and it makes Chile tea very special. Another country that we have here is Argentina. Argentina. They have Misiones province and Corrientes province. And they have tea plantations. They are producing CTC tea, and they are also producing whole leaf tea. Argentina also have created some special machines for tea fabrication, but this information will be amplified by one of our friends that is going to talk specifically about Argentina. Let's see the next image, please. Well, here I have the picture of a tea field in Ecuador. And I'm going to use this beautiful image to let you know a little bit more topics about tea in South America. First of all, remember, I told you that when conquerors arrived to our South continent, we already have a very huge and rich plants and herbalistic tradition. We are not pretending that tea fights with this tradition, but we want them to work together. We still have our tradition of herbalistic and traditional and medicinal use, and if you have the opportunity of trying guayusa and trying coca leaves and trying cacao from South America and mate from the south of the continent, do it. It will be a very tasteful and interesting experience for you guys. We grow up with them, but tea is also growing with us too. So let's not forget ever that in South America we have our herbalistic tradition. Second of all, let's not forget either that tea is growing, that the way of tea is also growing in South America. Like I said, we have no more than 100 years, but we are doing it. People still prefer tea blends because they are not used still to the taste of tea. They prefer coffee, or they prefer the traditional herbs that I told you about, but they are getting interest in tea. And we tea lovers are working on it. And a third thing that I think is very important is how we are learning in South America about tea. And we have very nice and complete schools with very generous teachers that are helping to grow the tea culture from Mexico to Argentina. And I want to take this time to thank these schools because they have been teaching me for many years, and they have encouraged me and many other tea lovers in South America to travel around the world and go to the places where tea born and learn and come to our countries and teach and expand the tea culture. So thank you very much. I hope this information was useful for you. Don't forget to write your questions, your comments, and I will be more than happy to help you and anything you would like to know. Thank you very much and enjoy the next of the festival. I think you told me that somebody asked about tea in Mexico.
Yes, Nuria asked, what do you know about tea in Mexico? Is
Okay.
there anything you can share with us?
Yes. Well, actually, I study in Mexico most of the time of my way of tea. They have the weather for growing tea at the south part of Mexico, and they have a tea plantation, a small tea plantation, but it's used for schools. It's for
Oh.
educational purposes only. But La Escuela Mexicana del Té, Mexican School of Tea, they bought a tea state in Sri Lanka. So Mexico is growing tea, but in Sri Lanka, because that tea plantations belongs to them. And this school particularly, they have been my teachers, they are my friends, and their school is very complete. They have a very nice program where you can learn about very many aspects of tea. This is recently. They have like 10 years, probably more or less, in the business. But I want to name this very important lady, and she's a very nice lady. Her name is Olivia Medina, and she has a company that is called Eurote. She has almost 30 years importing tea from Europe to Mexico. Why is she so important? Because she was the very first one to introduce tea to Mexico. So she
Mm.
opened the market. She she did it, and we all in Mexico thank her. They also have a very ancestral um, herbalistic tradition, and they respect it. And they have very delicious beverages. But tea culture in Mexico, it's growing amazingly, really fast.
What do you mean by it's growing amazingly? People find more tea?
Yes, they are liking and tasting only blends, but really specialty teas.
Which tea are you referring to?
Um, Almost all of them specialty teas.
Oh.
Yes, the school and the stores, the tea stores, the tea houses, they are working very hard in importing even better and specialty teas. They are worried also about sustainability and fair trade. It's a industry that is growing very well. And if somebody from Mexico is listening, I think you are in one of the best places in Latin America for learning about tea. Argentina, Brazil, of course, they have huge tea schools, but but in Mexico you can find almost anything.
Mm. I'm curious whether we have anyone from Mexico. Yeah.
Friends on mine, I hope so. I
Mm.
used to live in Mexico until the last year. I moved a year ago back to Ecuador, which is the country where I born. But I spent 8 years of my life in Mexico. I enjoyed 8 years of my
8
life in
years.
Mexico. So I have amazing tea friends. I know there are very conscious tea lovers that they want to learn, they want to investigate, and they are always looking for better teas, rare teas, specialty teas, uh, working in mixology, cooking with tea, and tea traditions. Actually, I learned chado with a Japanese sensei in Mexico, because there are Asian teachers, Asian tea masters that are giving classes in Mexico.
For anyone who are not familiar with chado, could you explain what chado means?
Chado is the Japanese way of tea. It's the tea ceremony that it's performed in Japan. I think it's
Thank you.
beautiful. I know for some people can be like really strict and rigid, but it's beautiful. It's not just learning how to make tea, to learning the steps. It's a way of life because in every step that you are learning, you have a philosophy behind. So
Yes.
it's very beautiful. And I learned it in Mexico with a Japanese sensei.
Mm.
So
For anyone who don't know, Priscilla has her singing bowl and tea appreciation sessions coming up. So if you're curious about the ceremony and art of appreciation, you can attend that one as well. And from the audience, Kim said, is there tea plantation in Mexico?
it's there's one tea plantation, but they don't produce tea. It's just for schools. It's for
School?
learning. It's not they don't produce tea for the market of or for consuming. It's for learning only. I
No,
will.
I just spotted that from the audience. Nuria studied in Mexican School of Tea.
Oh, well, we belong
Yeah.
to the same place. I bet she knows the same teachers that I had. They are great. They are close friend of mine. So that's why I was taking a time during the workshop to thank all the teachers that I had in my TPAD because they have been very generous with me. They share what they know. In other way, there's no way of learning about tea in South America because it's not a, a tradition like it is in Asia, for example. It's very young in South America, but we tea lovers, we are trying to grow tea culture in our country.
Yeah. Thank you. What's the school program like? Is it just couple months session or like 2 years or 4 years real school degree session?
Well, it can last a year, becoming a tea sommelier, and because every time schools are getting better and better and better, and they discover and they learn more, and they add this information to the classes. So the very first time I took a sommelier degree, it lasts like 6 months. The second time I took my sommelier degree, it lasts more than a year because
Wow.
there are more information every day and we are trying to learn. And I don't want to forget something. I want to there are many tea books. I'm a bookworm. I must confess. I love books, but if you guys want to learn about teas all over the world, I recommend this book. Is Jane Pettigrew.
Pettigrew's World of Tea.
Yes, she's a wonderful lady. She's amazing. But this book, as huge as it is, you can
Yeah.
find, yeah, you can find almost a plantation and tea cultivar in every place in the world. So it's great for investigation. If you want to learn about tea in the country you are not imagine that has tea, you will find in this book.
Mm. So it covers not only tea, like popular, common, famous tea growing countries, it also covers small area, unknown
Right.
area as well.
Right.
That's
I was very
interesting.
excited when I found this book and I saw a part dedicated to tea in Ecuador. I was very surprised because
Oh,
Ecuador, as I show you guys in my presentation, my country is very, very small and it has one tea plantation and it was in the book. So I say
wow.
she did her job.
Lion asks, does any country in South America grow high mountain tea that is above 1,000 meters elevation?
Probably, especially if we think in Bolivia. Like I say, this is a country with a very high altitude. They have no ocean. They are in the middle of Andes mountains, and they are growing tea there. Answer will be yes. In
Yes.
Bolivia and probably all over the subcontinent, South American subcontinent, because we have Andes mountains. Uh, think like Himalayas. If they grow tea in Himalayas, also we can grow tea in Andes.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. And then I look forward to seeing you in your singing bowl session.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
I hope you guys can relax and enjoy and have a good time.
Thank you. See ya.
Thank you. See you later. See